Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Confessions of a Gaming Mum. So today I wanted to do a video, my reaction video to the finale that was Game of Thrones. I know, there's probably like so many of you out there that are just like, oh for God's sake, people just need to get over it, oh it was such a shit show anyway. I don't care, I have dedicated 8 years of my life to this thing, so I'm bloody well like in every right to talk about it as far as I'm concerned. I've been a massive fan of the show for, well basically, I didn't start watching it from the beginning because we didn't have Sky at the time, so I didn't actually see series 1 until it was out on DVD, so like the next year basically. And I think it was for the first first three series I had to basically try and hide away from social media to avoid spoilers because I had to wait to get the series on disc because there was no way we could actually watch it live, so that was fun. Pretty much everything got spoiled for me, like the Red Wedding and obviously Ned Stark dying at the beginning. I should probably say spoilers as well if you're not up to date on what happened with the series. So yes, I think it was from series 4 that we were able to get HBO Now or something. There was a way that we were able to watch it from series 4. Because I remember, because I think we watched the Purple Wedding live, which was good because that one didn't get spoiled. That was quite nice. Since then, it's just I've just been absolutely obsessed with the show. You probably can't see. Even though I'm not a Targaryen fan, I've always been either Jon Snow or Arya Stark were my two favourites. I was basically a Stark girl through and through. So yeah, that's another thing I can say as well about, because I suppose that's what a lot of people will be watching the video for, is what I actually thought of the end of it. I have to say the penultimate episode, so obviously the episode before the very last episode, I was really annoyed. I was really pissed off with how it all went, and I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's like obviously you're not paying attention to the show. It's like, I fucking was. I've been watching it since the beginning, so you can't turn around and say that I haven't been paying attention. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan like of Dany, so it weren't as if I was a fan being butthurt at the fact that my favourite character had turned out to be evil. That's not what I'm about. The thing I was pissed off about is just, it did really seem like it just came out of the blue. Yeah, I mean, she has been quite brutal in the past throughout all the series, but it's to people that have been bad to her, or like slavers, just people that just deserve it, so to speak. There's never been a time where she's actually killed innocents, and you can look back, I can't remember what series it is, it's like 4, I think it's series 5. She locked her dragons away in a crypt because they burnt a little girl alive, and she couldn't live with that thought that one of her dragons had killed a little girl. So things like that, and then all of a sudden you get like a couple of series later, nothing else really happens other than her giving a few slavers a smackdown because they revolt. You don't see her do anything that would make you think that she was gonna then just slaughter like thousands of innocent people. I honestly thought when she was doing that, when she was stood on the wall and she was just like doing that, I thought she was psyching herself up to go and just make a beeline for the Red Keep and just take out Cersei like that way. So the fact that then she started blowing up the city, I just could not believe it. I was like, that's not the Dany that I've been watching for the last few series, no way. Yeah, I mean, if that's what she does in the books, I have a love-hate relationship with the books. I think I've read the first 3 at least 3 times because I've just tried to work my way through them, and then it will go like 6 months or something where I put them down and I don't pick them up again because I don't have the time or the motivation or whatever, so then I have to start again, and it's constantly going on. I've picked the first one up again because I want to try and read. I'm more determined now to actually just read them all, and obviously George R. R. Martin still needs to finish 2, but I'm hoping he does soon, or at least finish Winds of Winter soon, so I can read that. So once I've read the first 5, I can actually then go on to that one. That would be nice, but I'm not holding my breath on that. Anyway, I digress. Back to Dany. Like I said, if that's how Dany goes in the books, I'm sure there's a lot more background and a lot more build up, so you can actually understand. You might not sympathise with her, but I hope that George R. R. Martin would actually get it to a point where you understand it's not just come out of nowhere. It's not like, oh la 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 la, and then all of a sudden just burn everything. Yeah, it's just, I just thought it just seemed really rushed, and it just came out of nowhere, and I was really annoyed by it. And also with Cersei as well, it was just, she just seemed so sort of dumbfounded in that episode, when you think how clever and how manipulating she's been throughout the last few series, and then in series 8 she just stands there like drinking wine and being smug until the one before last episode, where she's just sort of cowering and crying and stuff, and it's not the characters, I don't think, it's just they've just completely just destroyed their character arc, and I hate that. When we've spent this long watching and getting to know these characters, and it did just seem so out of character. And even though I did like the fact that Jaime and Cersei died together, I thought that was a nice touch, I still don't think they got the deaths they deserve. For two main characters, that's not how they should have gone out, especially Cersei, considering she was meant to be the main villain, or she was seen as the main villain up until the last episode. So yeah, I just don't think they got the deaths they deserve, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, they're the main gripes that I have with that, but yeah, with the last episode, it just seemed like the whole thing was just so rushed. I think that was another thing when it got to the penultimate episode and what happened with Dany. I think my heart just sank, because I was kind of like, we have one more episode, we have an hour and a half in which to obviously kill the bad guy, which is Dany, and then just finish off all these different stories that have been going on for the last 8 years. And there's still so many like unanswered questions that not just me, but so many other different fans have. Again, it's one of those things in terms of, if that's where the characters end up, then fine. But the TV show just did such a shit job at finishing them off. And I think George R. R. Martin actually came out and said that he wanted more series, and I think HBO actually offered D&D, the creators of the show, they actually offered them more money to make more episodes, and like to do like a 10 episode series, or even to do more series. I can't remember the full details of it. But yeah, and they turned around and said no, and it's kind of like, I do get the feeling it's like they just have Star Wars on their mind now, because they're doing the next Star Wars trilogy. And yeah, I just get the feeling they're kind of like, oh yeah, we're bored of Game of Thrones now, we're going to move on to something else. And that really just upsets me, that again, so many people have put so much effort in and time and like so much love into these series, and the creators have just thrown all that away. And I kind of feel bad for George R. R. Martin as well, in terms of, because obviously he told them the ending of the books, and now everyone knows the ending, what's going to happen. So his books have basically been spoiled, and they've been spoiled in a really shit way. So, I mean, it's probably going to be good for him, because obviously he'll be able to then flesh out those storylines and the characters and different things. So he can do that. He can make the story. He can end the story in a better way. Obviously, it will have the same ending, but people will be happier how he gets there. But it's still, yeah, I just think it sucks for him, because everyone basically knows how his books are going to end, and I think that's quite depressing, really. But yeah, with the final episode, I can say that one shot of Dany as she was walking through that archway with Drogon behind her and the wings came out, and I thought that was such an amazing shot. It's one of my favourite shots. That, and the shot of back from Battle of the Bastards with Jon Snow, when he was facing off the cavalry as they were charging off him. That and the Dany shot are like my two favourite shots out of the entire show. Just absolutely such good images. But other than that, and I thought Sansa looked absolutely amazing at the end, like her dress and just how she looked, and the fact that she did actually become Queen in the North. I thought she looked like, I was very happy with that. Arya, again, I was happy with that, because she always said that she wanted to explore Westeros, so that's basically her story told. But fucking Bran as the king, really? I've hated Bran since like the beginning. It's just like my least favourite character. Like, you can ask any of our friends at the end of every episode, probably message them going, fucking Bran, because I've just never been able to get on with him. He's just always fucked so much up. People have died because of him. Don't even get me started on fucking Hold the Door. Just, no, he's like the one character I was just like, no, if he becomes king, I'm gonna be really pissed off. And then it happens, and I was like, oh my god. I was not happy when that happened, really not happy. Oh, I'm no longer Bran, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. But then he accepts the fact that as Bran he'll be king. It just doesn't make sense to me, and it really, really annoys me. like all the prophecies. So you have like Azor Ahai and the prince that was promised and things like that have just led nowhere. And like people were saying about, like, you have this massive conspiracy or this massive theory that was basically that all the fans are talking about from like the start of the books, basically, and that's R plus L equals J, basically. Jon Snow's true heritage, where he's Aegon Targaryen. And that led nowhere. It's like, other than it causing tension between him and Dany, he ended up back at the wall anyway. And again, what's the point in the wall? It's just like the Night King and the White Walkers are gone. There's no point in the wall anymore, other than it probably just being in easy exile where they can send people but why do they need to send them there? There's nothing that needs to be done. Like, they don't need to like maintain anything, or like, it's stupid. It's stupid. I just did not get that at all, and I think that's probably why it's upset me as well, because like Jon Snow's one of my favourite characters, and the fact that like he's just been palmed off, and like a lot of people have said about the fact that he ends up going to the wall, and then as soon as he goes to the wall, Grey Worm and the Unsullied and the Dothraki all end up pissing back off east. It's like, so Jon didn't technically have to go to the wall. It felt really poorly written and really rushed. And as a fan of the TV series, and like I said, I think you should treat the TV series and the books as very different entities. I think especially now that the TV series has ended, and not in a very good way. People have said, like, when they've read the books, you can see Dany in the books is very different to, like, or you can see more of her personality and like the different sides of her personality in the books than you get to see in the TV show. But then you could say that for most of the characters, really. I think Tyrion in the books, to me, was very different to how he appears in the TV show. I mean, there is a lot of that wit and the quickness and the humour that you have in the TV show in the book still, but there's also a darker side to him as well. You can say that about a lot of the characters, really, to be honest, in the book. All the Starks can wog into their walls or into different animals and stuff. It's not just Bran, but they didn't put that in the TV series, because obviously I can understand that, because it just get confusing, especially if it's not like the main part of the story. It's important to Bran's story, but obviously not the rest of them, apparently. I think it all started to go wrong, really, with the death of the Night King. I think when that happened, I was able to accept it because I was quite upset, and I was just like, the fact that he died so quickly and so soon into the series, and I was like, no, it's fine, because George R. R. Martin has actually come out and said that he was always about the politics and like the people and the personal stories, rather than it being all about the magic and like the wider shape, like the wider scope of things. Like, that's the one thing he didn't like about Tolkien's writing, and the fact that he made Sauron and the orcs the bad guys, when it's just all about like the bad magic side of things. It's like the black and white, good versus evil. George R. R. Martin likes the grey areas and things like that. He likes the complications and the many layers that come along with like people's personalities and their ideas and their ambitions and different things like that. Which I kind of agree with. I'm a massive Tolkien fan. I have been my whole life. But I also see like George R. R. Martin's side, and it's good that he's different in that respect, because otherwise, if all fantasy writers are exactly the same, then it'd be boring. But yeah, so when I sort of thought of that, like how he got sort of how you could get around that whole thing with the Night King being killed off so quickly, is he's not the main enemy. It's the people, like the real people, like the flesh and blood people, that are the enemy. So it was basically like, oh, that means there's going to be a massive showdown with Cersei. So we were kind of like, oh, that's fine, look forward to that, would be good. And yeah, and then we get the penultimate episode with Cersei just being buried under a load of rubble because Dany's just gone like absolutely psycho. So yeah, it was just constant disappointment after disappointment with Series 8. And again, that's another thing, like I said, I could get around the idea with the Night King being killed off because he weren't the main enemy, but then why have a full sort of 7 series of build-up of him being, of like the White Walkers and Winter being such a massive threat, and like everyone just acting as if it's like the only war that mattered, and that the war between the people that would just be sorted out later, that didn't matter. Like they mainly had to sort out the White Walkers. And yeah, so it just felt like it was just sort of shrugged off quite quickly. And it'll be interesting to see how he ends that in the books, because obviously so far in the books, this is again because I've not read them, so I can't really say much, but in the books the Night King doesn't actually exist. There's someone called the Night's King. He was the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and he apparently married a White Walker or something like that. So it's like a legend about a man that basically turned to the dark side, sort of thing. But yeah, he's nothing like the Night King that's in the show. So it will be interesting to see how they actually defeat the White Walkers, if you don't just simply have to stab one of them and then they all die. So that will be an interesting one to see. All us TV fans just now have to read the books and just hope that George R. R. Martin is able to, one, release them all, get the story finished, because apparently he's working on 5 prequels to Game of Thrones. I know there's one that's being filmed already, which is about the Long Night, which I'm really looking forward to. I think that'll be really good, because I love all the myths and legends and things like that. I think that's a lot of the reason why I read fantasies. Like with Lord of the Rings, I loved the Silmarillion, which was obviously all about the creation of the earth and the gods and the goddesses and how everything was created and stuff. I love all that. So the fact that George R. R. Martin goes into so much detail with all his myths and legends within the world of Game of Thrones, like Westeros and stuff like that, I absolutely love it. I lap it all up. It's why I'm quite surprised at myself that I've not read the books as much as I got into Lord of the Rings. But I guess when I read Lord of the Rings, I had more time on my hands. Literally, I had no responsibility other than doing my homework when I got home from school. So yeah, life kind of gets on top of you sometimes. But yeah, I'm really trying now, because I'm so determined to read the books, so I get to find out that it does have a better ending than what the TV show fobbed us off with. I really am. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. Did you watch the show? Who are you rooting for? Did it end the way you think it would? Or did it end in a way that you were disappointed? How would you like it to end? That's another interesting one. But yeah, I think we should just all sort of band together and just try and get through this together. We have the memories of the first 7 series. We can try and ignore 8 series, or at least we can try and ignore the 8 series, or at least just try and pick the positives out of it and not try and wallow too much in it all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and again, let me know your thoughts, like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next video.